What up, guys? This is Gilbert Sanchez with the Gin Podcast, and we're coming at you live. I got my best friend Caesar here with us. He's sitting down with us so we can talk about some crazy stuff.
I'm glad to be here. Am I your first guest?
Actually, you are my first guest. I have an intro that I made that I told you about, but I still need to edit that. But yeah, congrats,
First
man.
guest? I'm
First
honored.
guest.
I mean, it's deserved.
I appreciate you coming up here. But one of the things I want to talk about is pretty much how we met because there's a funny story how we met, but we've been friends for a while now. So um, we I believe seventh grade, right? It was seventh grade.
Yeah. And in my head, I'm trying to figure out how old you are in seventh grade.
10. Nah, I don't know.
That's fifth grade. I know that. So then 6, 11, 12,
12,
so 13.
12, 13.
Yeah. So we're
Um,
25. That's 13 years of
yeah,
friendship.
yeah, man, it's been a while. But I was thinking about this the other day. I was trying to remember the teacher's name, and I got it. It's Miss Heavyside. Miss Heavyside.
She wasn't heavy though.
Nah, she wasn't. She was kind of cute.
Now that I'm
She
thinking
was kind
about
of
it.
cute. But I remember I was sitting next to the door, and I was probably in trouble or something because I was sitting like away from the class towards the wall, and I all I remember was I just getting a nose. My nose started bleeding like very very heavy, and I mean I was right next to the door, so I was like, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna walk out and just go to the restroom." Like I mean, when my nose is bleeding,
Yeah.
so ended up running down the hallway, going to the restroom, and I'm not too sure if you walked in or if you were in the stall or something, but uh, yeah,
No, I
man,
was walking down the hallway, and that's when the teacher was yelling at you like, "Hey, Gilbert, get back over here!"
I don't remember that.
And
Yeah,
I knew you were bleeding because you could see the blood, but I was like, "What the hell's going on?" And I knew who you were,
yeah,
but you were just friends of friends. So I was like, "Well, let me go check on them." And I asked you if you're all right, but you were cleaning up the blood, and you're like, "No, this happens all the time. I just get random nosebleeds."
low key, I was probably dying, bro. I don't remember, but
But it's
yes,
crazy how, I mean, did she know you were bleeding?
no. So when I came out, I had told her because I mean she was, I mean I don't know if she walked in. I honestly don't remember, but I remember her calling my name outside the restroom, and then I finally told her like, hey, like I got a nosebleed. Like, what was I supposed to do? Just sit there and bleed on your floor or
Did
something?
you get in trouble?
I don't remember. I probably did. She probably just let me sit there for another 2 weeks or something. I was just,
Oh wait, you were in a corner because you were in trouble.
yeah, I'm pretty sure I was in trouble. Like, cause I was facing the wall
Yeah.
away from everybody. So
In
yeah,
seventh grade.
in seventh grade. Yeah, that's me. I probably said something stupid, but I actually had Eric in that class, and that's I'm sure that's how we met too. But
Yeah.
yeah, I had Eric. I think that's it. I had a couple people, but I don't actually remember them.
So,
But
do you remember when we started hanging out though? Because that's when we first kind of met, our first conversation. But I don't remember when was the first time we hung out.
no, man, I've been thinking about that. Like I think, man, if it came down to it, I'm pretty sure it would be like football. I think that's when we
Or
all
yeah,
started.
sports.
Yeah, sports. I think that's when we all just started hanging out and started figuring out, like, hey, I like you. We should be friends. Some
The
shit
f-
like that.
the the first like thing I remember doing as like a group when we like started the whole like DFW was have you talked about that DFW?
Nah, I
No.
haven't. I mean, I'm sure people know about it. The people that mess with us, people who fuck with us. Tell a story that I don't remember.
Honestly, I don't remember either. I just remember every time we would decide to do something, we would all say, "Yeah, I'm down for whatever." Like, yeah, down for whatever. So
Yeah,
then we just started calling, we just started calling ourselves DFW.
yeah.
But the first memory I have of everyone hanging out was at my birthday.
Oh
Were you there?
yeah,
Yeah, when we went paintballing.
yeah. I remember that. Damn,
That's the first memory I have of hanging out with you and your brother. And it
that
wasn't
is.
it wasn't everyone that's in our group now, but it was a good
Yeah, it was a
chunk
good
of us.
chunk, bro. It was like 15,
'Cause I
15,
remember
20.
Steven Feliciano was there too, and I think at one point he
Yeah,
hung out with us.
yeah, yeah. Well, if people don't know, DFW stands for down for whatever, and I personally don't know how I came up with it, but yeah, it's down for whatever. So in high school, we pretty much made this crew of like 10 friends that well, a little bit more at the time. It's just 10 of us, 11 of us have kept in touch till now. But yeah, one of the things I want to get to when talk about too is this topic of self-made thousandaires. So, um, what I mean by thousandaires is I wrote down on this piece of paper that I have right now. I put millionaires at first, but obviously we're not millionaires. We are thousandaires. So, um,
Thanks to that stimulus check, baby.
yeah, we there that shit got deposited this morning. Nah, I'm just kidding. It actually yeah, I haven't got it yet. But um, so I don't know if do you want to get into it or do you want me to start off?
Yeah, start off. What do you mean by
That self-made thousandaire.
thousandaires?
Okay.
Yeah.
So when I say self-made thousandaires, obviously when you take a look at millionaires, they have some sort of not strategy, but I think the word is mindset because I mean, obviously they got there somehow. The only way that for me, the only way they got there is their mindset. So um when you talk about millionaires and the amount of money or assets or things they can acquire, they got there
Mhm.
somehow, some way. You know what I mean? So, I mean, whether if it was money from someone else or if they built it up with credit or if they got their funding from like a private lender. I mean, whatever the case may be, they had a strategy and a mindset to where they can do so many things to a certain level
Yeah.
where you can just make so much money and I mean not beat the system but I mean get to a position where you don't have to worry about your next meal, you don't have to worry about your family and friends suffering anything like that. So um for me, I mean the easiest way I can explain it as far as um, the way I was brought up, I wasn't brought up with a lot of money, I should say. I mean, it was me, my mom. I have two brothers. I'm sorry, one brother and then two sisters. So it's been like that since, man, I think since I was born. So definitely struggling. But the way I thought about it is, I don't want to sound like disrespectful or mean, but
Mhm.
I don't want to put myself in position. Like I'm gonna do whatever I can to not put myself in a position where I'm gonna end up like my mom and my dad.
Yeah.
Like, and I talk to them. I talk to my mom about it all the time. Like I tell her like, and she's like, she's cool. Like not cool, but she's like, I'm glad you think like that
Yeah.
because times where, I mean, we had no money, we had nothing to eat. That
Mhm.
you definitely don't want to end up like that, especially if you have kids. Like that's yeah, that's a that's a different part, but
Yeah.
what do you
I
think?
think um I think it's a mindset because if you take your situation in your family, there's four of y'all, and why is it that that one you're the youngest and you're the only one without kids, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
You're the
yeah.
only one without kids. Why are you the only one? If y'all all grew up the same, why are you the only one that has that mindset of like I'm gonna make it. I don't want to live like this the way we're living, and just that that wasn't an option for you.
I don't yeah, I give credit to y'all, to my best friends.
Mhm.
Y'all helped me a lot. So it was yeah, I don't know. It was so the way I think about it is I I look back onto my brothers and sisters and to be honest, they don't have friends like me and you.
Yep, that
Like
makes sense.
they don't have that like I mean they have maybe one or two, but they don't have five, 10. So the way I could break it down is I look forward to going to school, not just because like it's bettering myself, but to get time spent with y'all because it took away the image of me like going back home and
Right.
I mean I wouldn't say suffering, but like it wasn't it was just uncomfortable for me. So when I went to school,
Yeah.
it was oh, I get to chill with my friends. I get to we talk about crazy shit. We get to do stupid shit. And then as we started growing up in high school and we started getting to where a point where, oh shit, we got to figure this out. No one else is going to teach us. We got to do it ourselves. We got to, I mean, we got to apply to college. We got to apply for FAFSA. We got to do all these things. I mean, I can go on and on. We got to do these things ourselves. And we don't have that mentorship from a mom and dad, and
Mhm.
an uncle, grandma, grandpa. We, yeah, we just had to literally do it ourselves. We had to brainstorm off of each other. We have to give each other advice. And I mean, obviously, it's that self motivation you give
Yeah.
yourself. But I've always thought about I saw myself not being like that 100%. Like, there's no way I can end up like this because I'm the only I, I'm the only one left as far as the youngest,
Mhm.
and um, if they are all to a point where they um, are not like financially free, or they don't have some type of mindset or some type of wealth or some type of assets or anything like that, then I'm on the track to being the same thing.
Yeah.
So
All of us were kind of, basically middle class. Like
yeah, yeah, yeah,
we had parents who went to school, maybe a little bit of school, but they all had, jobs and they provided.
yeah,
I think maybe only you and Jimmy were the only ones that didn't really have, uh, like the whole family where you had a mom and a dad, one household for, you know, 10 plus years. Yeah, we're always moving. But yet you both, I would say, out of all our friends are not to say the most successful, but you're the ones, doing the most things right now out of everybody.
yeah. I feel that to a certain extent, just because y'all are doing y'all's own thing too, man.
Mhm.
But yeah, definitely household for me is. I take a look back now, man. If I had a father figure in my life, I think my obviously it would be just so much different. I mean, you
Mhm.
have someone to look up to. You have someone to. I mean, if they're giving advice to you, that's cool too. So, um, just having that sense of family nurture coming from your household can do so many things. Like it's crazy when you think about what you could accomplish when you have those things versus when you don't.
Yeah.
I feel like if I had that, I'm I wouldn't say I would be a lot more successful than I'm at now, but I would be a little bit more just because I mean you have that sense of urgency to um, I mean to I have it now like to make them proud,
Yeah.
but you when you have your dad there, well, for me, because my mom always been there, but when I have your dad there, you're just like, fuck, like I want to be like him.
Yeah.
Like I want to be that. I want to be that guy. If your dad
Yeah. So
is,
that's what I was gonna
yeah,
say. Just because you have your mom and dad, that
yeah,
doesn't mean
yeah, yeah,
everything's good.
yeah,
Uh, for speaking for myself, my parents were 100%, the best providers.
yeah,
Whatever we needed, they got it for us. We never went hungry. We always had clothes.
yeah,
We always had a house. But me as, a new parent, I feel like those are just like you need to do that. Like, you
yeah.
need to do that for kids.
Yeah, it sucks, man. Like I see so many people and so many like young kids,
Yeah.
like our age, just not taking care of their kids, man. It's
Yeah.
crazy because you I don't think they fully understand the type of damage they can do to somebody. But
And not to say I don't appreciate it because I
yeah,
do.
but
I
yeah,
do appreciate my parents. But to say, what I know now, or like what it takes to be successful, like what they preached to me was you got to go to college
yeah,
and you got to have a good credit score. And those are just basic things. Like
yeah,
they didn't really go into depth of like what that means to go to college and to have a good credit score.
hmm,
So you have to like learn that shit on your own. And I don't know. I think it takes a mindset that, you know, you have to want to be successful. It's not just going to come to you.
yeah,
So that's why I think you, Jimmy, a lot of them, and all of our guys, that we have that mindset that,
yeah,
we're going to be successful.
yeah. And I think patience has a lot of things to do with it too. So for me, when I say patience, and I'll go into mindset too, because they sound really cliche, and I know like a lot of people like out there right now, they say like, oh, patience, mindset, like the self motivation, like those are all the key things. But
Yeah.
trust me, there's a lot of people that don't have it, and it's I truly try to think about like how can you not have that? Like how can you not want to do better for yourself? Like and it's mind blowing just to see that they don't have that trigger in their mind to get better every single day. But I say patience too because man, there's been countless things where I've like done something and then 2 or 3 years later, I'm just like, fuck, I was such a bum. Like
Yeah.
if I wouldn't have done that, um, I wouldn't have been right here, whether if it's like, I mean, you can do credit, you can do school, you can do the things that I'm doing now. Um, like it just, it takes time. And I think people don't understand that patience comes with a lot of stress. Like, cause for me, I've seen over the years, I've had like a tremendous amount of stress just because I'm like, fuck, I want it now. But when
Yeah.
you want it now, you're gonna get older. So you kind of like you have to pick and choose like like how you want how you want to think. But um I was telling my mom recently that um just stuff I've seen like on the internet and social media and stuff like that that man it I feel like we're still kids. Like I literally feel like we're still
Yeah.
kids. Not to say like we do kid shit, but like if someone were to be like if I was 40, you like the standard life is I mean 80 to 90 years, like I guess average. I'm not too
77.
something, yeah,
Yeah.
close enough. So
Hmm.
even if you're 40, think about like we haven't even if you're 40, you have 30 years to
Yeah.
like or
Yep.
40 years to like 80. We haven't even reached 20. I mean, I'm 25. The amount of shit that I've done in 25 years.
Not even 25, because
Yeah.
when's your first memory?
Oh yeah. So I mean, fucking like 4 or 5 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 20 years. The amount of stuff that I've done in 20 years, or even like the past 10 years, the amount of
And
stuff
even
I did.
shit that you had control of, you don't have any control of what you do before
Yeah.
15. So
It is
10 years.
crazy. So I was telling her like you literally my mom I think my mom's like 49, 48, 49.
Mhm.
You literally have so much time in front of you.
Yep.
Like it's I know it just you're old, you're not you don't have that much motivation, you have other things to worry about, but if you wanted to, you definitely could do literally anything. Like
Yeah.
I mean, whatever like there's so much time in front of you that I mean, why not do it? So, but
And why was I freaking out a couple days ago that I'm halfway to 30? Like my 20s, I mean.
what do you mean?
Like I was freaking out the other day because
Oh,
like, fuck, I'm 25. In
yeah.
5 years, I'll be 30.
Yeah.
So I do kind of struggle with like feeling like I'm behind.
Oh
Like
yeah.
I'm 25, I should have a house, a
Yeah.
career, and you know.
Yeah. No, all the time. Trust me. I tell myself you're fucking behind. And the only reason why I tell me that is just because I mean I have that patience in the back of my head, but I tell myself that just so I can get up every day and I
Mhm.
can do the routine that I do. But um yeah, and I want to go back to mindset just because when you have that type of mindset, you literally have to um I'd say buckle down, and the easiest way to put it is you have to have like a fucking schedule or like task or like something to keep yourself aligned and put yourself in responsibility to obtain the next goal or I mean finish your schoolwork. I mean
Yeah.
whatever the goal might be, like you literally have to keep yourself aligned to yeah, just keep yourself in check.
Mhm. Um, I wanted to say that real quick before we're gonna move on. Just
Yeah. No, we still got
that I
time.
think majority of people who are successful, they weren't like they didn't hit the lottery and just become successful.
Yeah.
I don't think I don't know the statistics, but I know majority of millionaires aren't uh like they didn't win it and they didn't inherit it. You know, that shit was earned. And I
Yeah.
think it's because they were taught how to be successful. So I think if you look at someone who's successful, you know, they had the guidance of either a parent or a mentor to teach them.
Yeah.
And I think um the reason why I know we're gonna be successful is because we're seeking it and we're looking for it. And when it comes to families, I feel like you have to break that cycle. So my grandparents came from Mexico,
Hmm.
and then my parents, you know, grew up here and they had me, but they didn't know to success to them was a house and just
Yeah.
having money in the bank. Not even money in the bank, but just having money to pay their bills
Yeah.
and feed you. So I think it's our responsibility to build on that.
Yeah.
every generation should be, more successful than the previous.
Oh, 100%. That's why, I mean, that's why I told myself like I don't want to be anything like my parents. Not to say they're bad parents,
Yeah.
but just like putting myself in the position to be wealthy or have some type of um, something to look back on.
Hmm.
But going back to that, though, man, I forgot what you said. So seeking mentorship.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely feel I'm 100% with that. Just because if there's, I mean, you can do so much research and so much by yourself before you look at mentorship, but I think it's a very, very vital point to where you get into a point of your life where you have to seek it just because
Hmm.
they've been through it, they know the wrongs, they've made mistakes. And I mean, it can count. There's so much time you can lose where you make those mistakes. Where I mean, obviously you have that mentorship, so
Yeah.
you can just rely on that. So you can take action quicker and execute your plans versus making those same mistakes as they made and then being in the same position as them. So
And it doesn't need to be someone that you physically talk to. It could be a book, YouTube.
oh
A
yeah,
lot of the
yeah,
stuff I learned off YouTube and just reading.
yeah, 100%.
Because I don't have a mentor that I check in with, but I would like one. So,
Yeah, no, yeah, that definitely. Books are yeah, for me, over the past, um, since I've graduated, over the past 2.5 years, definitely been into books.
mhm.
I never liked to read when I was in college. Never. Like even though you had to, like even though you had to read and write, like those essays and that's just real. Like you really have to write essays about different shit. But when when you're out, like obviously you got to provide for yourself, so you got to get into survival mode. So you started getting to where you have to obtain some type of knowledge. So the only way to get it is, I mean, you can obviously outsource to like YouTube, social media, and stuff like that. People there, but books, I mean, literally, books are so fucking like they're literally fucking gold mine,
Yeah.
and like there's so much information that you can obtain from like literally books that I have right here in front of me. Like there's I mean I haven't read all of them, but yeah, there's so much information. Like literally maybe half of a book I've learned countless stuff where it just made my life easier um to where you just don't make the same mistakes that you did before.
Yeah.
But one of the things that I want to get into next is the type of diet that you recently just did, which is to me it's mind-boggling. Just because, so let me put you on real quick. So let me tell y'all what Caesar did. So Caesar went on 90 days, right? Or
A little
60?
more, 100
100.
days.
All right, so 100 days of just meat. So I mean we can get into it a little bit later, but it's just meat. So for me, man, yeah, I've dieted it before, but I think for me the biggest thing that I eat is carbs. Like I like bread, I like pasta,
Mhm.
I fucking love cereals. Like I eat carbs to where yeah, I don't think I can do that. So but what I know you eat like beef obviously and like chicken
Just
and
any animal product.
yeah, no product.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if it's any type of animal, anything that comes from an animal, so dairy, eggs,
Yeah.
things like that. If it's from an animal, you're allowed to eat it.
Hmm.
And it sounds crazy, right? But
Yeah, it does sound crazy because see, if I thought about it, I can probably do it for a couple days,
yeah.
maybe like a week. I don't think I can do it for 100 days. Like it's just that I don't know. This is one of the things I want to get into is like you have to have so much like discipline.
Hmm.
Like I remember a time where I forget where we're at. I think we were at Anissa's house
Yeah.
or we were at somebody's house and we were eating and you didn't eat because you were doing
Oh
this
yeah.
diet. I'm pretty sure it was there. But yeah, to be at a party
Did I not eat at
and
all?
no, you didn't eat at all.
Oh,
Yeah, you didn't eat at all. So
because
to
I'm telling you right now, I'm not that disciplined. That's why I'm still a little overweight. Like I'm
oh
struggling with my weight my
yeah,
whole life, but I don't know what it was about those 100 days. I was like, no, I'm gonna try to do this, and I
yeah,
did it. But
yeah, yeah.
I can talk about that. But
No,
I
it's
can talk
just
about that when you're done.
no, yeah, it's just mind blowing. Just because I don't know if it was a party, maybe we were watching a game
Mhm.
or something, but we were yeah, it was all of us. We
Yeah.
were it was I'm pretty sure there's a little bit more people, and we were just there chilling, vibing, eating, and yeah, man, you didn't eat, and I was just like, "Fuck, this is yeah, this is serious, man. This is really what it takes." And I've been in situations where I've been dieting, and
Yeah.
I'm just like, "Oh, fuck it, like make it up tomorrow. I'll go
Yeah.
fucking do some cardio tomorrow. I'll fix my diet tomorrow." But like that, yeah, that for me personally, that showed me like it showed me a different type of discipline because
Mhm.
you're around friends and you have not peer pressure, but you're
Yeah.
just like, fuck, like I not to say you want like just I want to like be doing what they're doing. Like
Mhm.
I'm fucking hungry. You know what I mean? Like I want to eat, and just to have that type of discipline is
So
pretty crazy.
that's where the struggle comes in of I mean, yeah, it it looks cool to be that disciplined and
Yeah,
not enjoy yourself at a party, but
yeah,
again, you don't want to maybe to you it was like, damn, that's badass, he's disciplined, but then someone else could be like, this dude's weird, like we're at a party. And I want to find that
yeah,
balance of like when I'm just my daily, the daily food I eat, I want to be disciplined and make sure I'm making good choices.
yeah,
But if I'm at a party, I want to be able to enjoy myself and, eat stuff and drink stuff that I wouldn't do on a daily basis. Cause I think that's when you're supposed to enjoy those foods.
yeah.
But for me, I think I'm starting to realize that I think I do have like some sort of food addiction. Food addiction slash like binge eating. Cause I can be
Why do you say
really
that?
because I can be real disciplined and I mean I ate meat for only 100 days and it was it was it was kind of easy just because eating meat is it's very satiating.
Yeah.
So it was pretty easy, but once I fell off and I went and I had like a couple days of just eating the way I used to eat,
Mhm.
just took off from there, bro. Like to where I was not even hungry and I was eating.
I I think it's yeah, I think it's just you don't want to go back to. Well, let me ask you this: Were
Mhm.
you? Is there? Did you feel like you were starving yourself? Like, were you
No,
hungry?
no,
Hungry most
not
of
at
the time?
all. I was crazy because
Yeah,
I was like full, like not full, like where like when I do
yeah,
overeat
yeah,
and
yeah,
I feel like shit, and I was full, like I was good, and I was thinking, there's no way, I'm gonna hop on that scale tomorrow morning, and I'm gonna be lighter, but I
yeah.
would be lighter.
See, that's what's weird because most times, like when I eat carbs, like
Hmm.
I'm not gonna lie, like I eat carbs, like I mean 10, 11 o'clock at night, or
Yeah,
like I don't know, like a bowl of oatmeal or something. Like, it's a shitload of carbs, and especially right before bed, and um, yeah, I wake up hungry, man. I don't know if that's just me,
yeah,
but like I think I told you, I wake up literally starving. Like my stomach is just, or my mind is just like, fuck, you need to eat. But um, that I'm glad that you said that because that's just where's that come from? The less
oh,
the
lectin, I believe it's called,
oh, okay.
or
That's
that's a hormone that it's the hunger hormone.
yeah,
So
but that is triggered from eating fat, right? Or
no,
just
no, no, I don't know if it's triggered from eating. It's triggered when you just eat a lot. Like you produce a hormone that's gonna make you more hungry, especially when it's
no,
processed carbs like
no.
oatmeal.
Oh, okay. But I'm talking about the like your diet. So like when you're eating like all the meat, but n- not being hungry came from.
Oh, it's just more satiating. A fat. Fat's more
Oh,
satiating.
okay,
Yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah.
Okay, yeah,
So
that
it
makes
has.
sense.
I mean, if you break it down to the science of it,
Yeah,
it's the macro that has the most calories in it.
yeah,
Calories are energy, so uh, that's why people are so successful on keto because they can eat as much fat as they want, and their
yeah.
body naturally tells them like, "Yo, you're good."
See, I don't.
Um,
Yeah, that's another diet I don't think I can do.
keto.
Yeah, because they take out carbs
I mean,
completely.
and if you think about carbs, like natural carbs
Hmm.
would be potatoes, rice, vegetables,
Hmm.
but you're not eating natural carbs. What are you eating?
No, I do eat natural carbs. I
Oh,
the potatoes and rice are my
mhm.
main source of
Oh, well, what I meant to
carbs.
say, I'm sorry, is like carbs get you know, their bad rap from like when you think of carbs, you think of like chips,
Oh,
sodas,
okay, yeah,
stuff like that.
yeah,
Yeah, technically those are carbs, but if we're talking, natural foods,
yeah.
those aren't healthy.
Yeah. No, so yeah, my main source is definitely rice and potatoes. I eat, like I'm telling you, I eat a shitload of like bagels and English muffins
Yeah.
and um I mean you got cereal, you got pasta,
So those
Um,
are processed. So I wouldn't consider those. That's why it's hard.
yeah, and I think that's why it's
Mhm.
bad. I think that's where I'm fucking up
Yeah.
because I should definitely just eat meat. No, I'm kidding, but um,
That's currently where I'm at. I'm trying to find that balance if I can even find it of just I don't want to be so strict where I eat meat and
yeah,
I because that was if it was easy and I was never hungry on that diet, but it was stressful because again I go out and have to make sure like I'm only eating meat or if I'm at a party.
yeah.
I don't remember what party was it. Do you remember?
I don't think it was a party.
No,
I think it was just like we are watching a UFC fight or
because I try to do my best to make sure like hey like we're gonna grill steaks, I'll be good. But
yes,
my bad.
I'm like I'm 99% sure you do need because
Yeah.
I literally remember like fuck like this. These
Mhm.
this shit's
And there was a
serious.
lot
Yeah.
of times where I didn't eat in those 100 days just because I didn't fit the diet.
Yeah. I think it was towards the end though. I'm not too sure when you ended. You know
I
what?
did on my birthday.
It was McGregor. So McGregor fought January 18th, I think.
Oh, where did we watch that?
I think
When
I'm
he
pretty
fought
sure.
Cerrone, right?
Yeah, I think pretty
Was
sure it
that
was at
Eric's house? Wait.
I think it was at Anissa's. That's what I'm saying. I think it was that time. Yeah, I don't remember. But
It's
um
probably Eric's. I don't know. Anyway.
maybe. Um Another thing I want to talk about too is just because you recently something big for you and I think it's one of the things I wouldn't say I struggle with, but I think I have symptoms.
Yeah.
So, anxiety for sure
Mhm.
is something that you've actually been through, and something that that for me is pretty cool to see because not only did you like you went through
Mhm.
overcome it, but now for you can actually teach people, or you can actually not teach,
So
but you
I'm
can
helping out. The guy who helped me out
yeah
has a badass program to help people, and
yeah
he's teaching them the right way to overcome anxiety.
yeah
Um, and he's just asked me to help him out, which
yeah
is crazy. And right now, it's we had some things planned, or he had some things planned that I'm sure he was gonna let me in on more on it. But
yeah
with the whole coronavirus thing going on, there's not much we can do right now other than
like virtual stuff
yeah,
or yeah
yeah.
no yeah so um I mean, if you can tell me, I mean, I'm pretty sure I already know, but if you can tell me one, your biggest like anxiety attack, if you will, or not big, or
The
you don't even have to do your biggest, just do
no,
something you feel comfortable
I'll
with.
tell you my biggest one because I've only had technically I've only had what I consider two panic attacks.
Okay. Okay.
So the biggest one was obviously going to be the first one because
Yeah.
that's what kind of set me in the loop of anxiety.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was just driving home and I was driving with, and I noticed my hands on the steering wheel like look really weird, like I was high, like they just look. I know they were my hands, but they just
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't think I was controlling them. So I started to panic and I pulled over and called an ambulance because I thought I was having a heart attack. And that was the first time they said like, "Hey, bro, just anxiety."
So why, why do you think you, do you know now, like, why do you think you feel like you felt that way
Um,
now that you like,
shit, it could have been one thing or it could have been a million things
yeah.
just finally added up.
Yeah. Yeah.
For the longest, at the beginning, I thought it was because I went to Sixth Street and I got really drunk. And you
Okay.
know how when you have a hangover, you kind of feel like on edge in a way.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe it was just too much to drink that night, and because I remember this one time when we were in Vegas, I felt like that. Like I just felt
Like what,
like an out of body experience.
woozy?
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
was like trying to freak. It was when we were eating at the buffet, and I started to freak out, and I was
Oh
like,
yeah, that
"Nah." I
I
was like,
love that
"Nah, bro,
buffet.
you just drank too much." So I
Yeah,
didn't. It's crazy how a thought came to me and they went away. Because when people who struggle with anxiety, they get a thought and it just stays with them,
yeah,
and it's just a cycle over and over again.
yeah.
So this time, maybe I just because I was driving, maybe it made it
Mhm.
10 times, 1,000 times scarier that something was gonna happen. But that's when it started. That's when that was shit. I had the anniversary of when it happened was March 26th, 2017. So it's been
Anniversary of what?
that panic attack
Oh, that
because
just passed.
yeah,
Oh,
because
okay.
it literally like changed my life. Like,
Yeah. No, I bet. So
mhm,
what? And I've talked to you about it too. I think I yeah I don't know if it's anxiety, but So like my sleepless nights, for instance, I'll go to that.
Yeah.
That's probably the easiest one I talk about. When I have sleepless nights, it's because I think I have something to do. Like
Mhm.
I'm like fuck, like I can't be sleeping. Like I need to do something
Yeah.
to better myself, or like whatever the situation may be, like to grow financially, to be wealthy. Like I feel like, hey, you need to be doing something right now. You can't be sleeping. Obviously, you need sleep to actually fucking function right. So that's always good. But bro, like there's been countless times where I've waken up and just like not to like where I've had like a not my reaction. My reaction waking up is just like just waking up and just my thoughts in my head like fuck you. You can't be sleeping right now.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like and I think that's the worst for me. And sometimes too, like I mean, we all take naps during the day, but I how do I say this? Like I get mad when I take naps during the day.
Okay.
I don't know how that deals with anxiety, but when I do wake up from the nap, I'm just like, fuck, like you wasted all your fucking time
So, yeah.
napping and you can be doing.
Um,
I don't know. I
so
think I just
anxiety is a normal thing to have. Everybody has anxiety.
really?
Everybody, yeah. I mean, you need anxiety to survive. Like the best example, people struggling with anxiety give who's helping someone is like, fuck, back then, when we were hunting for our food, you'd see a
Yeah.
tiger or something, your anxiety will kick in, that survival mode, that fight or flight mode will kick in, but
Yeah.
you're using it to get away from that tiger or whatever
Yeah.
is chasing you. But now we don't have to worry about that kind of stuff now. So when you struggle with it, I mean, the best example I can give is when you're driving and you have to push on the brakes or you're gonna crash. Like
Yeah.
you get tense and you get like anxious, but then it goes away, right? Your body regulates back to normal. When people get stuck in that loop of anxiety, they they can't regulate.
Mm.
It's constantly there. So for you, I would say it's normal anxiety, but it's something that you really, really want. So, sometimes when you want something really bad, or like when you love someone really, like when you love someone a lot,
Yeah.
it can hurt them. So I think for you, you want this really so bad, and you'll do whatever it takes to get it, that it's kind of hurting you in a way.
Yeah. And like I think I've calmed myself down and just been like, bitch, like you're waking up in the middle of the night, like nigga, go back to sleep. Like
Yeah.
just like do your thing. Like it's and it goes back to patience too.
Or
Like
taking that nap. I mean, you shouldn't
yeah,
get mad at yourself for taking a
yeah,
nap.
yeah. See, and I don't that's what I'm saying. I don't know if it deals with anxiety, but it's
I would say it is anxiety, but I would say it's just
normal.
normal anxiety. It's not I wouldn't say it was the anxiety that I guess I struggled
It's crazy.
with.
So tell me like what's the difference between normal anxiety?
So normal anxiety is in a way you have something to know pinpoint it to. So for you, it'd be wanting to be
That makes
successful.
sense.
So at
Yeah.
night you're thinking about what can I do, and
Yeah.
sleeping kind of wasteful. But for me, bro, I'm thinking of it right now. Was this one time I was sleeping? You get anxiety for no reason. You have no reason at all. So like the panic attack, I
Yeah.
had no reason why I panicked. Did
Yeah.
Body did. Um, but this one time I was sleeping and I woke up in the middle of the night. And a lot of people struggle with waking up in the middle of the night panicking, but I never did. It was just this one time.
Mhm.
And there was this painting that me and Susie did, and we have it hanging in our room. And I was looking at it, and it was just freaking me out. I had no idea what it was, and I just felt like I wasn't in my room. Like I just felt
Like what
like
you're watching yourself?
I wasn't watching myself, but my room didn't feel like my room.
Yeah.
Like I felt like it was in a foreign place, and that was freaking me. Or sometimes I'd be watching TV, and my heart would start to race.
Mm.
Like
Like well,
it's
yeah.
like that
Yeah.
fight or flight's kicking in because that tiger's coming, but
Yeah.
like there's no tiger. You're fucking watching The Office.
It is crazy. Yeah, I for
Mm.
sure don't ever think I've had that. I've had to like where just adrenaline and like
Yeah,
your anxiety, like just it's just normal. Yeah, I don't think I've ever. Man,
like you've every time you've had that adrenaline, is you have pinpointed to something, right?
yeah. It's
Yeah.
always been. I think it's just always been that man. Like
Mhm.
it's just always been like you're fucking wasting time. It's always been you're wasting time to where you can be just doing
Yeah.
something to elevate yourself to the next level or whatever you want to do.
So it's that, and then also just like irrational thoughts. That everybody gets irrational thoughts, but someone with anxiety, it sticks with them. So for me, like one I would get was when I would hold my son. We live on the third floor,
Yeah.
so it's like, fuck. What if I, it's gonna sound crazy, but what if we're outside and I throw him over the balcony, or I trip and throw him over the balcony?
Yeah. No, that's yeah.
Like, that's it's a concern, right?
Mhm.
Because you're that's crazy. But then your body regulates again and be like, no, bro, it's not gonna. You wouldn't do that, and
Yeah.
you're gonna be extra careful so you won't trip. But for someone with anxiety, it's just gonna play back, play back, play back, play back, play back.
That is wild.
Yeah. So, real quick, anybody struggling with anxiety, the way out of it, what my guy tells me and what is correct, doesn't matter how you got there, because
Mhm.
you got tricked into that cycle of just worry and being anxious.
Mm.
Doesn't matter how you got in there, but the only way out is just to accept it. So you accept that thought of like, oh shit, I'm gonna do something crazy,
Yeah.
or it's gonna come and it's gonna go, just like it does for everybody else. But it takes practice, man. It's fucking hard.
I yeah, I learned something today, bro. I
Yeah,
didn't know there was normal anxiety. Cause
yeah.
we
Everybody has anxiety,
yeah,
and
cause
it's it's hard to be like, it's hard to describe what anxiety
yeah,
is if you
yeah.
don't have it, but everybody has it.
Yeah, and
You need it to survive.
yeah, that's what's crazy. That's what I was just about to
Mhm,
say. I said it's weird how you need it to survive.
mhm.
Like it's one of those you're just fucking born with it. Like
Yeah,
it's
I mean,
there.
shit. Even when you take it, like when you take a test,
Yeah.
before we started, you
Oh
can
yeah.
have like a energy just running through your
Yeah.
body, like that's anxiety. But when you struggle with it, it's there for no reason, bro.
Yeah.
You could be on a beach just chilling and you'll be fucking anxious. And that's only because you're trying to figure out why you're anxious and you don't have any idea why you're anxious, so it's making you anxious.
Yeah.
It's a fucking cycle.
You're pretty chill now?
So
Not like I mean,
no, so I made a video with that guy talking about, my recovery.
yeah. I didn't mean to sound
Mm.
disrespectful.
That's why it's hard to help someone like,
Yeah.
hey, just chill, bro. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
and I'd probably be the same way if I didn't go through it. But now it's situational. So now I could be fucking watching TV and I won't get anxious.
That's good.
But now that I'm going back to school to get my realtor's license,
Mhm.
so I haven't been in school for a year or two, and I was fucking taking a test that I knew I was gonna pass, but I was getting fucking anxious, like very, very anxious
Yeah.
for no reason. I knew every answer to the question, to the test, but I was still anxious. And my guy says, that the guy who's helping me, that is from right now the stage you're at, because anxiety recovery is up and down, up and down.
Okay.
But the stage I'm at is just situational. So certain situations that's going to make anybody nervous is
Mhm.
probably going to make me a little bit more nervous than usual. But eventually, that's going to
Yeah,
regulate too.
that makes
So
sense.
it's just your body regulating back to to normal.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So the
That's
more the more I go out and do shit and put myself in situations that gonna make me nervous, the
yeah,
more my body's gonna.
that's pretty good, man. That's a yeah, that's a very for me just hearing that's a very sensitive topic, man.
Yeah, a lot of people are scared. It's crazy
Yeah.
how I put my I put the link to the YouTube. I made a post on Instagram, and people were hitting me up, like certain friends,
Yeah.
and it's like, bro, like, fuck, I struggle with this every day, and like, you would never think
Yeah, and just going back to the normal
that.
anxiety, like, okay, that's normal, but like there's other things that people are dealing with where they yeah, they don't think it's a problem. Not I don't know like how to say this, like
Yeah.
not a problem, but like they don't think other people are going through the same thing they're going through. So like
Oh yeah.
when they I'm assuming when they saw your video, they're like, fuck, like he's going through it too.
Mhm.
He struggled with it. Um, he's done something about it. He's overcome it to an extent.
Yeah.
And I mean, why can't I? I feel like if I were in that situation, um, yeah, I definitely would hit you up too. Be
Yeah.
like, hey, fix me.
And another thing is that I'm I've always been like that. Like even going back to the drinking and
Yeah.
shit. Like I want to make sure everybody's good. I'm always trying to fix shit or figure shit out.
Yeah.
So that's in a way worse for your anxiety because you're trying to figure it out when there's nothing to figure out.
That is that's some deep
So
shit.
if I went back to the Vegas thing where I
Hmm.
was just like, fuck, I probably drank too much. My
Hmm.
body's just trying to fight off the alcohol poisoning that I probably gave myself, um, I'd be fine. Same thing when when I had the first panic attack and I was driving. If I
Yeah,
probably would have just been like, "Oh shit, last night was crazy. I drank too much.
yeah,
I'm tripping out right now." I probably would have been fine. I wouldn't have got myself inside.
yeah. I know I'm a little late, but for the listeners, we went to there's like 10 of us that went to Vegas in 2016, October of 2016. I believe it was holiday weekend, and yeah, it was a pretty fun
Halloween,
time.
right?
Yeah, Halloween.
Halloween. Yeah.
It was a pretty fun time. I will we'll definitely talk about it on one of these podcasts with I mean either Caesar or someone else who want to go in depth. But um, yeah, man, how you feel?
I feel good.
That is
It's
good, man.
crazy because speaking of my anxiety, like I was able to kind of break it down. But when I was doing the interview with my friend,
Hmm. No, that's trust me. Like, yeah, I definitely did learn something today. But one of I just want to recap. So we self-made thousandaires. For sure, you got to have a mindset.
yeah,
I think that's the biggest thing. For sure, you got to have mindset. For sure, you got to have self motivation and all. Like I said, all these things are cliche. Trust me, I know.
mhm,
But you definitely want patience too. So trust me.
education,
Yeah,
and it doesn't have
knowledge and education for
and it
sure.
doesn't have to be traditional.
Yeah,
That's something big. Like I like
yeah,
to preach to whether it be family members or friends. It's like fuck, bro. You don't want to go to college. You don't have to go
yeah,
to college.
yeah. That's definitely a different topic.
Mm.
Um, but we forgot what I was gonna say. We yeah. So patience. Trust me. If you're not where you want to be right now, you got time.
Yeah,
If I'm 25, I got time. Caesar 25, 20,
uh,
yeah,
I think I got
25.
time. Today I got time.
Yeah, we got time. So trust me, you're not in this alone. We think about it all the time too. So yeah, we out here struggling. We out here trying to make a living. But um, if I think if you have any problems with anxiety too, um, Caesar does have a program. I mean, you can hit him up. It is IB Caesar. So IBECESAAA. You got Twitter, you got IG. You can hit him up. Um, he probably won't hit you back until like 24 hours because he doesn't know to text back. But nah, he will get you situated if you're struggling for that. Yeah, it's really
It's a
really
simple fix,
yeah
but even though it makes you feel like you're fucking crazy, you're not.
yeah. And I urge you, please fucking get help. If you don't think you need help, please get help. Everybody needs help. Trust me, I need fucking help. But that is it. That's Caesar's handle. My handle, you can do GWeezy11. So it's GWEZZY11. You can follow me. I just made my shit not public for the past 5, 6, I don't know, 10 years. My shit has been public. I have no idea why, but
Private.
private.
It was
Yes.
private.
Sorry.
Now it's public.
Yeah. Now it's public. So you can follow me. That's mine. And then the Gin Podcast. So it's THEGINN podcast, the Gin Podcast. And we will be posting some crazy content. Um, I definitely have a couple other people I want to interview too as well. So stay tuned for that. We got some crazy things. We're going to talk about credit. We're going to talk about school. We're going to talk about some real estate stuff. We're also going to talk about some web development and business things too as well. So stay tuned. We will. I will. You want to say anything before we hop off?
Nah, bro. Just thanks for having me. I definitely have a lot more to say. So
Oh yeah, man. Appreciate you. I'm gonna fuck with you.